How many atomic bombs does Stalin possess?
At least 4 2-kiloton warheads are in production. But there is much even I do not know. Much we are not told.
Stalin's speech is coming on.
That woman, Stalin's paramour, correct?
I can think of better word to describe her. Yet, Boże mój. On Pomazny, he is mad. How can he do this?
Explain, Kosygin, what are you talking about?
Stalin! He announced he is telling everyone he's threatening to destroy the world. His missiles are ready, he's preparing to launch.
Is this possible?
A week ago, no. But now, who knows? This does not sound like a bluff. Even now, a great purge tears through the Kremlin. Your allied force becomes too powerful. In his fury, Stalin kills his own people. More death. More dishonor.
The Russians are manufacturing missiles at this site?
This factory's main site. We call it Temные Vasodniki, the Dark Horsemen. Commander, you must destroy it. Everything. Scorched earth.
Establish a base first, then move in on the command center. Get a spy inside. And neutralize launch capabilities. Once the missiles are neutralized, destroy the facility. Everything. Scorched earth.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Cannot deploy
Affirmative.
here.
Acknowledged.
Cannot deploy here.
Vehicle reporting.
New construction options.
Reporting. Acknowledge.
Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Construction complete.
Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
New construction
Reporting.
options.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Awaiting orders.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle report acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting order.
Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Reporting acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building. Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Reporting acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Waiting orders.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge.
Construction
Acknowledge.
complete.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle report acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Training.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Vehicle. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Base is under attack. Prepare.
Yes, sir. At once. Ready and waiting. Of course. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Training.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Training.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete. New construction
Reporting.
options.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building. Building.
Yes, sir.
Base
Very
is
well.
under attack.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Building. Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. Very well.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Vehicle
Acknowledged.
reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Awaiting
Construction
affirmative.
complete.
Acknowledged.
New construction
Yes, sir.
options.
Affirmative.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Training. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
prepared. Unit ready. Preparing. Unit ready.
Awaiting
Building.
orders. Acknowledged.
Unit prepared. Preparing. Unit ready. Building. Unit prepared. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes,
Building.
sir. Affirmative.
Vehicle
Acknowledged.
reporting.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. New construction options. Repairing. Building. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. On hold.
Acknowledged.
Cancel.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Our base is under attack. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Our base is
No,
under attack.
affirmative. Waiting orders. No, affirmative. Affirmative.
On hold. Cancel. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Our base
Affirmative.
is under
Acknowledge.
attack.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit
Acknowledge.
ready. Building. Building. On hold.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yeah?
Building.
Okay.
Awaiting order. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Awaiting order.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Our base is under attack.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost. Repairing. Unit lost.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Knowledge. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Awaiting
Building.
affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Vehicle
Repair.
report. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
repaired.
Acknowledged.
Repaired.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
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 Lost.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost. On hold. Cancel.
Vehicle reporting.
Building. Unit lost.
Waiting order. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Unit lost.
Awaiting order. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Waiting order.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Ready and waiting.
Lost. Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Napalm
Affirmative.
detected.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Commander, as you are well aware, Stalin has launched 4 atomic missiles. The only way to stop them now is to get into the command center. Each missile is controlled by a launch terminal. Deactivate all the launch terminals and stop those missiles.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Training.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Agreed. Awaiting orders.
Unit ready. Training.
Awaiting orders.
Insufficient.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Vehicle acknowledged. Waiting orders.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Engineering. Affirmative.
Unit
Yes.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Very well.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Of course. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting orders.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
Yes, affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Mission accomplished.